Matamu tu.
Hello, welcome to the first bonus episode of season 2 of the Matamu 2 podcast. And first, before anything, let me say a big thank you to all of you who have subscribed and follow the podcast on your various platforms. I really appreciate that you actually take the time to listen to this podcast wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Na mimi yenyewe nawapenda wote. Season 2 has been so fantastic with the launch of the video side of things, and we've really had a blast in studio with all our guests. Now, for season 3, it's going to be something special. I am not going to spoil the surprise, so you will just have to wait and hear what I have in store for you. All that said, let me begin by introducing my guest for today. Karibu sana, Nikki.
Thank you.
Ebu just tell us a little bit about yourself. Kidogo tu.
Well, what can I say? My name is Nikki Nkirote. What else? I'm an enthusiast of life.
Hey.
Enthusiast of food.
Hey, love it. Love it.
I blog. I'm a writer. I like to consider myself as a food storyteller. So...
Sasa ni story gani hizo unaambiana za chakula?
You know, like when you eat something, you have like a sensation. And you bring that sensation into words.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
So Nikki will tell us a little bit more about this food storytelling that she's doing a bit later on in the episode. But right now, let's just jump into the topic. Now, for today's topic, and sticking with the theme of this season of the podcast, let's talk liver. Organ meats in general are very divisive, but liver holds a very special place, and it's been the cause of controversies world over. Okay, so let's just start from the basics, right? The liver of mammals, fowls, and fish is commonly eaten as food by humans. You have your pig, lamb, calf, ox, chicken, goose, and cod livers that are widely available from butchers and supermarkets. So in Kenya, we don't get cod livers. No, it's just the oil. Yes. Cod liver oil is very... Exactly. Now, liver is one of the most nutrient-dense foods in the world. You can actually call it a superfood. A single serving of beef liver will give you more than 100% of your recommended daily dose of vitamin A. It's also really good for boosting iron in your body, boosting vitamin K, and a whole host of B-complex vitamins. However, caveat, too much liver could lead to vitamin A toxicity, as your own liver can only process so much of the preformed vitamin A that's present in liver products. There's also a risk of high cholesterol. Yes, because livers are very high in cholesterol.
Okay.
They're very fatty.
Okay.
So now, Nikki, you love liver, right?
Yes, I do.
You do?
I do.
Which one's your favorite? Which one of those ones that I listed is your favorite?
Well, you didn't list it. You said beef, fowl, whatever.
There was ETC.
Yeah, okay. It's in the ETC.
Which one is it?
The goat. Mbuzi, yeah.
All right.
I love it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. But tunakunga tudogo.
But they're so good. Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's just the taste of it.
Maybe.
I prefer it to the beef.
Yeah, okay.
The beef, I just don't like how it's... Okay. I don't know. I feel like it's more metallic.
But okay, yeah, well, because, iron, right? Yeah. Literally chewing on a couple
irony.
Okay, just face palmed for a second. This happens a lot. This happens a lot on the podcast. The face palms. Anyway, do you remember the first time you tasted liver?
I do actually.
Tell us.
And it was at, I was probably around 15 or 16.
Wow.
Yes, it was very late in life.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yes.
Wow, okay. Huh?
So we were having like a party at home. And my dad loves to host people. So he has a very eclectic group of friends.
Yes.
So they came with a mbuzi at home. They chinchadi at home. And so my mom was like, by the way, you've never eaten liver in your life before.
Your mom even knew?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the way we grew up, we didn't grow up eating liver.
Yes.
So she was like, okay, today is the day that you're going to eat liver. So my mom is preparing liver. My dad on the other side is preparing mutura. That's a whole story for another day. Okay. So I'm like, what on earth is this that she's doing? What is going on? I've never seen this thing in my life. So she's like, okay, you don't worry. I'm going to prepare it and you're going to like it.
Okay.
You know how African mothers are. You're going to eat it.
You don't have a choice in the matter. Hapo utakula.
Exactly. So she's making it. I'm seeing her frying things, onions, tomatoes. I'm like, okay. So she's frying it, she's cooking it, and then that smell. I'm like, all right.
Okay. I could go along with this, huh?
Maybe I might like it just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. So she's finished. She's like, Rose, come and taste this. Since you're the one who in the family who likes trying different foods and you can never say no to anything, just try this out. So I tasted and I'm like, dear Lord, this thing is good. You know?
Did you have one of those angels singing in the background moments?
And not really angels, more like fireworks in your mouth. You know, like those pop rocks that we used to eat as kids, like something like that.
Okay.
So I was like, oh,
okay.
yes. So now every time like there's mbuzi somewhere, I usually ask my mom, is there liver? Is there liver? So yeah,
okay,
that was the first experience with liver.
That's interesting. I don't know, with livers, in my family, we come from a background where meat is not something that happens very often, right? Like we'd eat Christmas, sana. And that one, I actually spoke about that. Like we'd go to Kiseria and buy mbuzi, then my dad would throw a whole goat leg in the oven, and it would be so fantastic.
Yeah.
So liver wasn't one of those things that was ever on the menu, very often anyway.
Yeah.
But I do remember one day, I don't know what happened. My father went and got liver apa Dagoretti kwa kichinjio. It was beef liver, right? So he comes and my father was fancy. That I appreciate of him. He was very fancy because he had gone to Britain at some point, and he had been introduced to the staple that is liver and onions in Britain, right? So he came and he recreated that. Mbaka the mashed potatoes. So it was like mashed potatoes, liver and onions, and you know with mashed potatoes, like you're supposed to put cream and butter.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's where people go wrong.
It's not mashed potatoes if there's no cream
or butter.
No, not or butter.
And butter.
And
sorry,
butter.
I'm
please,
so sorry.
Please.
Sorry.
Otherwise, it's sacrilegious.
Forgive me.
Yes,
all
you're
right.
forgiven. It's right. So, he recreated that dish for us, and my friend, my mind was blown. And it became like one of my favorite things. Well, now because we just didn't eat meat that often.
Yes.
So it was like one of these very rare things that we would eat. And I remember a couple of years ago, I was going to visit somebody's daughter's sister. I have to make it very clear. And somebody's daughter was with me. It wasn't that nilikuwa nimeenda kwa wenyewe bila mwenyewe. So we went to visit for a few days over Easter, and while we were there, my girlfriend at the time is like, by the way, this guy knows how to cook. So sasa mimi nilikuwa nimepewa stress.
Pressure.
Sikuwa nimejipanga kwenda kwa wenyewe kupika. So I was quite stressed. I was like, okay, now what do I do? What do I make? And this is like it's pretty far away from Nairobi. It's like somewhere in the middle of almost nowhere. So like even my condiments, what I'm used to make food taste nice, is not present.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Then I saw that there was some chickens running around. So okay, grab me one of those chickens. I'm gonna make it. Yeah. So they do the thing with the chicken, and it's kienyeji, right? So it has to boil for
quite a while.
Eons.
Yes.
From the Stone Age to the Paleolithic age. So then I was seated there. I'm like, okay, while we wait for this chicken to enjoy the jacuzzi long enough to soften a bit, what else is there that I can make for guys to munch a bit so that they can at least feel good as they wait. Yeah. And then somebody said, oh no, we bought some liver, by the way. We were supposed to make liver today. I was like, liver. Okay, bring. So I took the liver, of course, skinned it, dunked it in a bit of milk so that it could reduce the metallicness. And that's what people should do.
Yes, that's the thing that the people don't know.
People don't know how to do that.
That's the thing.
So I dunked it in the milk for a while. Yeah. But this is fresh milk. Yani ni mtu alienda kakamua. Someone went and milked the cow and brought the milk. Then I dunked the liver in the milk.
In the milk, yeah.
Stayed in there for about half an hour while I caramelized the onions. Then now I've pan-fried the liver, and no, actually there's something I've missed. I actually marinated the liver again in honey, like fresh honey, for another like 10-15 minutes, so the enzymes could really
It can absorb. Is it absorption?
Absorption and softening. Because I really wanted it to be really soft.
Yes.
So then after that, I just picked it and pan fried it with the honey.
Yeah.
For like another 10 minutes until it was just pink in the middle.
Okay.
It wasn't grey. Because if you leave it, it's grey, it's tough.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then now served that as a side thingy for everybody. Just kidogo too with some onions and people's minds were blown.
You are like a dude.
Half the time I'm just making this shit up as I go. I'm like, okay, what do you have? Kuna maziwa? Okay, good. Put it in there. What else do you have? Okay, there's onions. Let's throw them in there. What else do you have? You have garlic. Throw it in there.
But isn't that how cooking is anyway?
It is.
You make
It
shit
is.
up as you
It
go,
is.
because it's supposed to be fun.
But then you have to have an understanding of what you're doing as you make that shit up.
Yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah?
But it should be fun. Okay.
So now, let's dive into a bit of controversy.
All right.
I'm sure you've heard of foie gras. Yes, that is French for fat liver.
Yes.
It's a specialty food product made of the liver of a duck or a goose, according to French law, because laws, right? Mm-hmm. Foie gras is defined as the liver of a duck or a goose that has been fattened by gavage, which is force feeding. Mm-hmm. In Spain and other countries, it's occasionally produced using natural feeding, and ducks are force fed twice a day for 12.5 days, and geese 3 times a day for around 17 days. And they're typically slaughtered at 100 days for ducks and 112 days for geese. Mm-hmm. Now, that gavage-based foie gras production is controversial, mainly due to animal welfare concerns with the force feeding, intensive housing and husbandry, and as well as enlarging the liver to 10 times its usual volume. 10 times. Yeah. And a number of countries and jurisdictions have actually set laws against force feeding, as well as production, import, or sale of foie gras. Even when it's legal, a number of retailers decline to stock it.
Okay.
Why? Because the process of force feeding can make animals sick by stressing the liver. And if the stress is prolonged, excess protein may build up and clump together. And those are called amyloids. Yeah. And consumption of those has been found to induce a disease called amyloidosis. And it has been hypothesized that that's one way that amyloidosis is getting into humans. So it's a risk for people who have inflammatory complications such as rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah, because it just goes and makes you fura everywhere. So there's still a huge debate going on about the effects of foie gras worldwide, and as a result, the sales of foie gras over the years, back in the Middle Ages, it was really popular. Yeah. But now, people every single year, the production is still the same, but people are eating less and less foie gras. And you have people who are going out there and looking for ways to make it naturally, because, ducks and geese their livers do tend to bulk up naturally to about 3 or 4 times their usual size around winter.
Okay.
So what people do is that they now feed the ducks or feed the geese. But because foie gras production is actually regulated by law, that cannot be called foie gras. It has to just be called fatty duck liver or fatty goose liver.
Goose liver, yes.
So it's not, but then now they've tried to rebrand it, call it humane foie gras or faux gras. Yes. But, it's not the same. It's not the same. But as a result, the taste, people say that foie gras tastes like heaven.
Oh, really?
I have never tried it.
Same.
Myself. I don't think I would try it because I know how it comes about. But, now it's only a very small, very niche community of gourmands who now enjoy foie gras. Yeah. The rest of us are like, ban it.
Oh, well.
Ban it. But enough of controversy. Yes. Enough of controversy. We are done with controversy.
We're done with it.
Now it's time for my favorite segment. I get to ask you some questions.
Oh, bring it on. Bring it on.
So first, tell us, how do you prepare your favorite liver dish?
Well, this took a lot of trial and error.
More error than trial?
Yes. Because let me tell you, I did not know how to make it at all. So I never used to take off the the silver
The
skin.
silver skin. Oh,
I
my
never used to take it
God.
off. Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so whenever I used to eat, because it wasn't the same like when, like what I was telling you, how my mom made it. I could never replicate that taste.
No.
So kumbe, instead of telling me the secret, thank you, Mom.
Shout out, Mama. Shout out. We still love you.
She just let me figure it out by myself.
See,
but anyway,
that's what parents are supposed to do. Let you figure it out for yourself. Okay,
So before I learned how to take off the silver skin, I never used to. So nowadays I take off the silver skin.
Yes.
Obviously dunk it into the milk.
Yes.
I never used to dunk it into the milk. You see, a lot of error.
Yes.
Never used to dunk it into the milk. So I take off the silver skin, dunk it into the milk, leave it for like 45 minutes.
Yes.
Then obviously I get to cutting my onions, my vitungu, my spices. Onions, vitungu, same thing. My goodness. Tomatoes, sorry. My onions, tomatoes, my spices.
Yes.
So me, I'm more of a wet fry kind of situation. That's what I like. So I fry up my onions, my garlic, my ginger, fry it up nicely together.
I can already smell this.
Then add in my tomatoes, let that soften a bit. Then add in my spices. I like spicy, so a bit of chili flakes, a bit of paprika, a bit of cayenne. Then I go in with a bit of cumin, a bit of coriander.
This is fancy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Just a bit. Then by that time I've already removed the liver from the milk. This time I've already chopped it up into cubes. Dunk that into the spice mix, everything.
Yes.
Corrugate, cook it for like probably 10 minutes.
Yeah,
because you don't need to cook it for a very long time because it gets tough.
Yeah, it gets tough very quickly.
Cook it for like 10 minutes, let everything come together into one school, you know.
Let them be friends.
Yes, let them get to know each other. Yeah, you know, let them. And then from there, you just collate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you eat with?
Well, it depends. If I'm in a hurry and there's nothing much in the house, mkate. With bread.
That's elite. That is actually elite, by the way.
It is.
That is absolutely elite. I love it because that's how I eat it as well. And you know, because I'll do it. I'll get just the normal bread.
Yeah, bana.
Once I'll make it a brown bread, and then I'll touch it on the fire a bit with some butter so that it's crispy. Just a bit. Yeah. And then I'll put heap like 2 spoons of that nini on top, and then put another slice on top. The end. It is elite.
That thing slaps.
It is elite.
It slaps.
And nobody should tell us anything.
So yeah, if there's nothing else, or if I don't really feel like cooking mkate.
Okay.
If I do feel like cooking, maybe with some rice. It always goes well with rice.
It goes well.
You know, some jasmine rice or some rice with some herbs. You know, something.
Hey, this one
simple.
is fancy. So Nikki is going to give us this recipe of hers, and we're going to post it up in the show notes for anybody who wants to try the Nikki version of fancy liver. And question number 2. Where did you ever eat liver and it blew your mind aside from your mom's?
Okay, this one actually happened juicy.
Okay.
So there's this joint. It's called Big Bites.
Never heard of it.
My friend, you don't know what you're missing.
Okay,
it's called Big Bites. So I was just running a few errands. I was like, let me go kamata something small.
A small hunger.
That hunger you're umbali, and you're like, if I don't nourish this right now, it's going to be the worst thing. So I was like, you know what? It's been a minute since I've had liver, and they have liver on the menu. So I was like, okay, give me some liver with some. So they didn't have rice or anything, but they had like Leonese potatoes. So I was like, yeah,
love it. So
I was like, give me that. I'm telling you. Number one, the way they make it, it looks like you're like having like pork fry.
Ooh.
Yes. It's so good. It's so good.
Okay.
Then I took the first bite. It's soft. It's flavorful. And then it has that pili-pili umbali. You know that pili-pili that gongas you in the back of your throat?
I don't. I'm sorry. I've let you down.
You don't know what you're missing. So it gongas you in the back of your throat over here, and then you're like, yeah.
Yes, okay, that was good.
No, this one, it hits the spot.
Okay,
like
okay.
That was by far, apart from my mom, that was by far the best liver I've had.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to need to tell me where this place is so I can go
will.
and try for myself.
Definitely.
Awesome. So, my last question is, what's been your go-to pandemic recipe? And it doesn't have to be liver related.
Well, there are, I think, there are few.
Go to Siati.
Well,
your go-tos.
There's several.
Go-to.
Okay.
Choose
Go-to
one.
has been wings.
Ah.
I wings because you can dress them up or dress them down however you want.
That's what she said.
Wow, Roma. Hasn't really been that long. So, you can...
Yes. Yes, it has been. Send help. Okay, listeners, we are sorry.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Wings, dress them up.
Yeah, so you can dress them up or dress them down however you want.
Okay.
So that has been my go-to.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like wings, but now the problem with wings, if you the Kenyan version of wings, is the whole thing, It's the whole thing. It's not just the dramette.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people who likes going looking for that small bone in there, like a piece. I really like that. Just chewing on that thing. So people find me weird. I'm just there nganganaing with it. Just small two bones. The things that make us happy, right?
I know.
Yes.
What?
So now, tell us about this food storytelling. Tell us about that.
Well, so the way I process food, or when I eat food, is I like to relate it to something.
Yes.
Right? And I have an obsession. Okay, massive obsession with Greek mythology.
Okay.
So whenever I eat something, it kind of takes me to either one of the Greek gods. Okay. And then I like to relate my food to the Greek. Okay, it's weird, but it's my process.
Proceed.
So like if I'm like eating steak,
yes,
it reminds me of Zeus.
Okay.
If I'm eating like prawns or like lobster, it reminds me of Poseidon because it comes from the sea. You understand? If it's like surf and turf, right? It reminds me of like Athena. You understand? So I like to relate that and take people on a journey. Of how like the highs, the lows, how the taste comprehends in your mouth, how it makes you feel in your entire body. That's what I basically call food storytelling.
I get it. So. But then like steak and Zeus, I thought you'd say Thor because of the
But Thor isn't Greek. He's Norse.
No, well, but it's still mythology.
But it's two different mythologies. You have to remember that. Yeah.
I know. No, for me, like whenever anybody says steak, my mind immediately goes to Thor because like the story that he had two goats, right? And then like he would cut like the mguu of one goat every day and choma it, and then the mguu would regrow. So that's like for me, that's what.
But if you think about it. Yeah, and hear me out. Zeus and Thor, both lightning. Yes.
Yes.
So you can relate it any way that you want. You could. It's up to interpretation. It is somebody's preference. Okay. I don't know. It's my obsession with Greek mythology.
Clearly.
Yeah. So.
So where do you do this relating and storytelling?
So I have my own blog. It's called Nikki 254. So you can go check it out.
We'll leave you a link in the show notes, listener. You can actually go and check out this food storytelling. Yeah. It's actually quite interesting. I every so often pass by there. Every so often.
Wow, Kumbe, we have an undercover fan. Ladies and gentlemen.
So that's it for this bonus episode of the Matamotu podcast. Thank you so much for joining me, Nikki.
Thank you, Ruma.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah. I will be back with another bonus episode in a week or two, maybe. We'll see. But so that you don't miss me, go to anchor.fm/matamu-2. That is matamu-tu. And you can subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. And you can also leave me a voice message. But until later, it's your boy Rumak leaving it up to you whether you like liver or not.